Can you really retire in the Philippines as a veteran or a retiree, or even if you just want to go there and live there and work there while earning US dollars? As a military veteran, I'm seriously considering going back there and retire early over there while still, working with a US company, finding a remote job over there. And doing so requires a lot of research and lots of questions needed to be answered. So today I want to share my checklist that you can also follow if you are considering moving to the Philippines. Welcome back to the channel, Life After Service. If you are watching this, you're probably considering retiring in the Philippines or moving there. And if that's something on your mind, consider following my channel. And in this channel, I talk about life after service, anything military related. And now I want to explore the idea of moving to the Philippines. I'm actually going there at the end of this month in August, and I'm excited to share my journey over there. I will mainly focus on researching, and I want to deliver whatever I'll find over there with you guys. So first thing to consider is income. Can you really afford to live over there with your VA disability pension, retirement pension, social security, or other investments you have, rental income, or the income you have on your job or remote job you will have? As of today's recording, $1 is 60 pesos, about 80 cents pesos. So in context, if you're not bougie, if you're not trying to be bougie living over there, you can have a good meal for just under $4. And of course, it depends on the lifestyle you want to have over there. In my case, I'm actually born and raised over there, and I just moved over the US when I was 21 years old. I'm currently now in Italy, working here in Aviano Air Base. But yeah, I was born and raised there, and growing up, we didn't have much. I was poor. My family is poor. So with the money I am making now and moving over there, well, I can say we can live comfortably as a family. So I have a wife and 2 kids, so a family of 4. When I say comfortably, it's not, a flashy lifestyle, and that's the one I'm trying to avoid. And I'm excited to share that when we move there. Like I said, I want to show you the rental places, how much the rent costs, the food cost, and as I said, we're trying to be on the medium lifestyle end. Is that how you say it? Sorry, English is not my first language, so bear with me with my grammar, the way I talk. I try, I promise I try. Next up is cost of living. So Philippines they say it's a third world country, but I was there in 2023, and I can tell you it's really developed. There's one city there, it's called BGC. It's like US pretty much. You'll see US restaurants, fast foods, US brands, and the prices in that area, I can say, is like almost compared to the US. So that's what I was saying, that our lifestyle over there, if we move, we want to be mostly closely relative to the locals, but living comfortably, And when I was doing my research at the time, probably a couple of months back, you can rent a decent 3 or 4 bedroom house for under 30,000 pesos. And like I said, this is not in the, highly densely populated area. What I mean is, this place that I was looking for under 30,000 are mostly provinces, and this is not a place where you typically see a lot of expats or foreigners. That doesn't mean there's none, but I know there's some people from other countries that chose to live that way, or choosing to live that way because they want to stay under budget. So I guess that's the point of this video, is we are staying under budget. So anything that I will be covering here is family friendly cost, if you may. And then under cost of living is you have utilities, cell phone, internet, groceries, eating out, and transportation. And like I said, if you are staying under a budget, utilities can be sometimes expensive depending on how much you want your AC running. I see some bills over there for power. It's about $200-$300 if you want your AC running 24/7. It could go up. I know the electric company there wants to overcharge their clients. And for groceries, I grew up going to the wet, they call it wet market, or the palengke. And there you can find fresh meats, fresh vegetables for under price of what you can find in grocery malls or grocery stores. I'll say for about under $20 or under $30 you can cook decent Filipino meals that will serve up for about 4 to 5 people in your family. And we are planning to hire a housekeeper, like a full-time housekeeper. From what I heard, it ranges about $300 a month if you want to have them full-time. And I think that's a cheap one, because back in the US, they charge you by the hour. And that $300, I think for me, it's kind of on the higher end. I think you can find someone who can do it for $250 a month or $200 if you know the person. And to answer that question, you must have a realistic monthly budget. The next is healthcare. I know there is a VA outpatient clinic in Manila, but I've heard you can only be seen for your service-connected claims. So if you have migraines, if you have back pains, knee injuries, that's on your claim, then they can see you in that clinic. And TRICARE works as well for certain hospitals. I know the bigger hospitals accepts TRICARE. I know there's one in Pampanga, St. Luke's, I believe, accepts TRICARE. And private healthcare is not that expensive, I believe. For me, I want to have, a decent savings on the side just in case we have to pay out of pocket for emergency services, for healthcare services, because typically you have to pay out of pocket first over there and then you file your claim for TRICARE or the CHAMP VA. But if you just have if your kid has a cold or just a quick checkup, a blood test and stuff like that, you can get it done to a private hospital there for under $100. Compare that to the US, that will get you up to thousands for sure if you don't have insurance. Next is safety. I believe anywhere you go, there are places that you don't want to be in. Even if you're in the US or here in Italy, there are places that you try to avoid to go because you heard stories about that place. The same thing goes with the Philippines. Over there, if you're respectful, if you are, not arrogant, people will like you. Your community, your neighborhood will like you in general. And just know that Philippines gets hit by typhoons frequently and there's flooding all over. So you have to make sure that you find a place that flooding is not as bad as it could be. So you have to do your research about it. And the traffic. I think if there's one downside that I hate the most personally moving to the Philippines, it's traffic. Sometimes when you go to a certain place, you will have to wait for hours when it could only take about 30 minutes of driving. It can turn into hours because of traffic. So be ready with that. And I'll show you when I get there, when I start posting videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. Talk about next is about lifestyle. So the weather there it's a tropical country, so it's always hot pretty much. So if you're into surfing, if you're into beach, the Philippines is the best place to be in my opinion. And there's malls everywhere. And the malls over there, people actually go and spend time as a family, go there to hang out. In America, back in America, Amazon delivery ruin it for everyone. The malls are pretty much empty, but in the Philippines, you'll find joy walking around there. And as far as investment opportunities, I'm a US citizen. I don't have dual citizenship, but since I was born there are specific laws applied to me that I can own a land or buy a property as long as I stay under a certain square meters. But for foreigners, I'm not quite sure how that works yet. I'm still doing my research, but I believe you can only buy a land if you are married to a Filipino woman or a man. That's the exemption, but more videos about it later on. And the biggest risk, to be honest, let's talk about it, is scammers. So if you're doing your research on your own right now, please make sure that they are legit. Do your due diligence on researching the person you are talking to, because there's a lot of scammers in the Philippines, and I think anywhere you go, people will try to scam you. It is avoidable if you do your own thing. One of the risks that you want to think about is the healthcare access. Although we are used to insurances in the US, like I said, if you have a cash savings, I think you will be fine in the US, in the Philippines I mean. And of course, there will be culture shocks if you are not from that country. In my case, like I said, me and my wife both grew up there, so we know how it works, we know how it goes over there. But for foreigners, it will definitely be a culture shock, but I think you'll see the good side of living there when you're there. And to wrap this up, this doesn't mean that I'm telling you to retire in the Philippines. It's just me, preparing for everything I need to learn before I make one of the biggest decisions of my life, and trying to help you as well if you're considering. Like I said, I will be going there at the end of this month, August. I want to take you to my journey over there when I show you the everyday life, the commoner life over there. And yeah, if this is something that intrigues you or considering moving over there, please follow my channel. If you have questions, put it in the comments and I will try to answer it with a video as well. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.